Hello everybody, it's Joshino. In the past few days, or last week, I have been releasing some videos of a game called Gigantic, which is an action MOBA style game. They've actually just released a statement saying that basically Motiga, the company that's made it, announced a significant and temporary, in quotation marks, studio layoffs. It says, "It is with a deep heartache that Motiga announces the temporary layoff of a significant percentage of our studio today. Our financial situation is such that we are unable to continue supporting the entirety of the studio at this time. Though we are in active and promising discussion with a number of potential investors, the timing of those negotiations extends beyond the resources we have to maintain the staffing required to continue the development of Gigantic. While we intend to continue supporting Gigantic game services for as long as we are able, the reality is that a decision of this magnitude will impact all departments across the studio, an impact that will be felt by our community of beta testers, as the services they depend on will operate without the key staff on hand to support those services." This part is the bit that's a bit worrying, because that might mean that the game stops being tested at all. Anyway, carrying on. "Owing to our commitment to transparency, both our studio and Gigantic community, this is a decision that has been shared with every member of our team before posting of this article. Motiga continues to engage in active discussions with our partners to identify ways to remedy the situation, but we are not in a position to provide any specific information on our next steps at this time. It is of course our goal and our deep hope that we are able to secure the necessary funding in the near future in order to bring Gigantic to market. We would like to thank everybody for their support over the last few months, and while the situation is far from ideal, the sheer number of people that have enjoyed playing Gigantic has affirmed what we have all believed all along. While we still have a lot of work to do to polish the experience for a lot of players, the current closed beta version of our game introduces a legitimately fun gameplay experience with great promise for the future, and I can definitely agree with that. Our goal at this time is to work aggressively to identify the resources we need to rehire the members of the Motiga family that were laid off today, securing our financial future so that the Gigantic community can continue to work with us to develop this title, and ultimately bring the complete Gigantic experience to the marketplace. We will continue to keep our community and the world at large apprised of this situation as it continues to unfold over the coming weeks." So quite a sad and obviously touching bits of information they've given us here. I suppose it's always been a worry for me, and if people didn't know, I've been following it for about a year now. I've been in the closed beta, and it's got a lot of character. It's a very nicely stylized game. It's fun. It's different to other MOBA games and fits in its own genre. It's more action really, and the Titans add something that is fresh. Oh, not Titans, sorry, the Guardians. But there hasn't been a lot of hype surrounding it, not compared to games like Overwatch, Paragon, and other games which are coming out, which are probably its closest competitors. It's not exactly the same games as these other games. Overwatch isn't a MOBA game, but it is sort of pulling in some of the crowd, whereas Paragon is a complete MOBA experience, but in third person with action. And I suppose you've got Smite as well in the background, so there's a lot of competition for this game. But basically I think they're hoping that some investor will scoop them up and allow for the release to go ahead. And I'm just here to say that I've enjoyed the game a lot, and I do hope that an investor does take it up. They definitely do need to work on their marketing and getting the word out about the game if they do ever try to take it on again, because it's a very unique experience and it's got a lot of potential, and I think it's worthwhile trying to push it out there. And it's sad that this has happened, and I was actually planning to do quite a lot more content on Gigantic in the future, or at least a few more videos, because I've been enjoying it. And as I've said before, as a gamer, I like to look at my gaming as a spectrum, as a palette, and I like to have lots of different games. Maybe PlanetSide 2 is my main featured game, but that's my shooter, my go-to shooter, and sort of like Battlefield-esque game. Whereas Gigantic filled a hole that was sort of taking over from my Dota fun. I was enjoying, well, to be honest, I'm not that good at Dota. I'm a lot better at Gigantic, where more of the skill lies in how you aim. And yeah, it's just, I didn't expect to see this at this point in the game, because they'd opened up their non-disclosure agreement so everybody could start posting their videos and things. I think probably the investors just got a little shaky because there wasn't a massive interest in the game, just because it hadn't been built up yet. I just think it's probably been cut off before it's been given a chance. Anyway, I just thought I'd let people know about the situation, and my heart goes out to the developers that have been working on this game, because it is something very, very nice and something that I've spent quite a few hours playing and enjoying. And honestly, looking at the comments, it looks like the developer team was very close-knit, and it's always quite sad to see this happen to development communities. We saw it when PlanetSide 2 broke off from SOE to Daybreak, and there were lots of layoffs then, and that was very sad. Anyway, I do hope it gets taken on by an investor, and I hope they see the light of release, because it is a very engaging experience, and with some more heroes, with some more maps, it would be very good. It'd be a polished game. I mean, at the moment it's very playable. There's not much problem with it. For a closed beta, it's very far along, and I haven't really noticed any bugs, so it's just so sad to see it, and frustrating that it's got this far. Anyway, that's me. Until next time, everybody, Joshino.